Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Talos Principle 2. I think my sound needs to be adjusted. Now, the first Talos Principle came out before I streamed, and I loved that game. As far as I know, I did basically everything there was in that game. So, I think I found all the secrets, did all the things. And this game kind of snuck up on me. I didn't even know they were making a sequel until like 2 weeks before it came out or something. They announced it at like Summer Games Fest or something, and then it came out a little while after that. That's when I found out about it. We're going to dive into this, and I opted to do Talos Principle as a Tuesday night game because I love puzzle games, but I don't know if I could do a full, long, 8-hour stream of doing a puzzle game. My brain might melt. So, the question is Elohim back or not?
Behold, child, you are risen from the dust, and you walk in my garden. Hear now my voice, and know that I am your friend, and I am called Elohim.
Okay, gotta change one thing here in the graphics. VSync needs to be on because I am seeing vertical tearing all over the place. There we go. And I will be doing a lot of bumping into things and looking in corners and stuff like that. Okay. Alright, puzzle time. Sure, I can't walk through this. Does it kill me? No, I just can't walk through it. And these things here disrupt fields. Nope. Okay. Can't do that. Understood. Is there another one in here? No. Oh wait, that's purple. I can just walk through that. I'm being dumb. Hexahedron. The simulation is breaking down a bit, Elohim.
This land is but a dream. You will stay here only for a little while. Soon, you will awaken in a new world. But first, you must undertake the trials of initiation. They will help me prepare your vessel. Do not be afraid of these dream figures and their messages. They are merely aspects of yourself, as am I, after a fashion.
Must forge the tools by which humanity will rebuild itself and transform the world into the Eden that it never was. Okay, we can't crouch. Within reach. Okay.
You may linger in my garden for as long as you wish. But remember, the shapes you are collecting are not mere toys. They are symbols of the process by which our people were created.
Understood. Your people were made Tetranemos. Ever a reason to come in here? No. Cubic steps, you say? I don't need that block.
Well done, my child.
Ah, we have multiple areas to over here. Understood. Apparently can't grab it without moving forward. I have to come back to this one. Start over here. Windy day. Oh. Just pick up.
Very good.
Didn't catch the name of this one. We have a laser. Does the laser hurt me? No, but I can interrupt the laser by standing in it. Understood. Which I'm guessing means I need to get that block over here to block the laser. Versatile contraption. Okay, that's jamming that from here. Oh. Okay, there's a jammer in there. Oh, I know. But this assumes this can work through here. It can. Excellent.
Excellent.
Right, now we go back to the one that we failed earlier. Or well, the one I gave up on. Can I pick up the fan? Yes, I can. get on top. That. Okay.
I am proud of all my children. Out of a world of ruins, they have built a new Jerusalem. And there your brothers and sisters await you to celebrate your birth.
Okay, we've got laser pylons. Okay. That one is not pickupable. We can connect to the other laser over there, which is interesting. Okay. Okay, I can cheese this, and I kind of want to. Maybe I can't cheese it. It tries to connect but can't shoot through the laser. Or can't shoot through the, Yeah, it can't shoot through the gate. Okay, never mind. You can actually do, or you could actually do stuff like that in the first game. There were places where you could actually unlock secrets and whatnot by placing a laser in one puzzle that you could see from another. But alas, this is not one of them. Okay. So I need that one. I need that one. I need that. I feel like I also need that. Do we have anywhere I could place it where I can see all of that? There we go. For those who didn't play the first game, basically humanity appears to have died out, and Elohim is the AI who's kind of in control of this simulation. I can't remember if the game actually made him out to be a bad guy or not. I mean, he was definitely sinister, but I don't think it was a case of like he's the bad guy. I think it's more as that he wants the simulation to continue. Ah. You interrupt. I see. Ah. Red. Red. Go. Blue. 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 Elevation is a thing. That puts you on this. Oh, that's right. You will need a box. Because these things are so light, they can't. It needs something solid to float on. And that was my own fault. Gotta stop walking through the fan.
Thank you, child. I have finished preparing your vessel. Now hear my advice. A new world awaits you, full of dangers and mysteries, signs and wonders. Things that I, in my garden, could never have imagined. In that world, you will have to be careful and smart and curious. But above all else, you will have to be human. Step into the light, child, and awaken.
Finish the calibration process.
Ah, you're awake. Welcome to the world of the living.
Hi, pleased to meet you.
Oh, you're polite. What a rare combination of traits. If only the algorithm produced more people like you. Oh, but I'm confusing you. Don't worry, everyone is confused at first. You see, we all start out without a full knowledge of our own history, so we have the freedom to form our own opinions. Of course. You want the short version or the long version?
Give me everything.
All right, you asked for it. A long time ago, our ancestors dominated this planet. We call ourselves human, like they did, but they were organic. They built an advanced technological civilization. But unfortunately, their impact on the ecosphere caused changes in the climate, and an extremely contagious virus was released from the permafrost. That's something our historians still debate. Why weren't they more prepared? Why did they invest so many resources into making war, and so few into useful research? It's hard to understand. But no matter the reason, in the end, they simply ran out of time. A team led by a scientist, Alexandra Drennan, began a project that was intended to create a new humanity. But knowing that there wasn't enough time, Drennan initiated a process, a series of iterations inside a simulation that would lead to the emergence of true artificial intelligence. That's why we remember Drennan as the progenitor. The simulation was controlled by Elohim, who wasn't really meant to be intelligent in the proper sense of the word. But it all took much longer than anyone had expected. And over the centuries, Elohim actually became sentient. Sentient and afraid. He didn't want the simulation to end, so he tried to cheat. I feel sorry for him, really. The whole simulation was built around learning to defy him. It must have been hard to be in that position.
Didn't seem that bad when he spoke to me in my dreams.
When the simulation was completed, he became part of all of us, and it really changed him. It freed him, I think. You'll always hear him in sleep mode, taking care of you. That's what he is, after all. A caretaker. Yes, there was Milton, the intelligence in charge of the archive, a project initiated by Arkady Chernyshevsky, which was meant to collect all of humankind's knowledge. His story is a lot like Elohim's, but Milton became the ultimate cynic. They say he's part of us too, in some way. It did. Long after our ancestors died out, the first new human was born. We call her the Founder, although the name she took was Athena. She then woke up Cornelius and Eustathius. Together, using the tools left behind by the progenitors' team, they created 10 more humans. These 12 who followed the Founder are known as the First Companions. Athena and the First Companions then set out to rebuild the world, and they founded the city of New Jerusalem. But then one day, she suddenly disappeared. Many still await her return. Before the Founder vanished, she set a goal for this city. We call it the goal, capital G and all. To make 1,000 new humans, and so complete New Jerusalem. Well, that's the official story, the way the mayor tells it.
What's the unofficial story?
Some of the First Companions, like Byron, don't believe that Athena really wanted us to stop growing. They think her ideas have been twisted and embellished.
And what do you think?
They may be right, but I didn't see Athena very much in the years before she left. Maybe actually leaving the simulation and seeing the destruction left behind by our ancestors changed her mind.
Thank you, that was pretty exhausting.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them. When you're done, head outside. They're waiting for you. Your birth is quite the event.
Will there be new humans after me?
You've only just been born, and already you step right into a major controversy. The goal, as most people understand it, was fulfilled the moment you were born. Now New Jerusalem is complete, and we can live in balance, without damaging the world like our ancestors did. That's the orthodox view, I suppose, but there are many who disagree. You'll have to figure out where you stand for yourself. Me? Well, as you can tell by my number, I'm quite old. I wasn't one of the First Companions, but I did know Athena personally. She and Cornelius taught me a lot, although I suppose I've made a few improvements here and there since those days. We didn't have a lot to work with in the beginning. You won't age like our ancestors did, but of course, there is always some wear and tear. You should probably schedule a checkup every decade or so. Oh, and be a bit careful with water. You won't die if it rains or anything, but we're running low on insulation material. I wouldn't go swimming if I were you. I haven't really thought about it. This is all I've done for the last few centuries, and I like doing it. I guess for now I'll just take a break and we'll see what happens. Oh, one more thing. Like all citizens of New Jerusalem, you have access to the interface, which you can use to read the news, chat to your fellow citizens, and so on. It's a crucial tool, and modular too. You can easily add new functions. Just don't subscribe to too many newsletters at once.
Are frogs people? Institute for Applied Pneumatics. We seem slower than we were in the simulation, or at least we can't run right now. They haven't done a terribly good job of keeping this place up and running. This is a reconstruction of the chamber of the first companions, where the first companions rested until the founder awoke them. The original chamber was disassembled in the early days of New Jerusalem.
Look, it's 1K.
Hey, 1K! Welcome to New Jerusalem!
Shouldn't the mayor be starting his speech?
This should be interesting. At least give him a chance.
Dear citizens of New Jerusalem,
I already don't
many
like
years
it.
ago, when the founder stepped forth from the simulation, this was a land of ruins. Our ancestors, in their hubris, undermined the natural foundations on which their world had been built. Because of their arrogance, our species found itself on the brink of annihilation. The founder aimed to set us on a new course.
You never even met the founder.
Her vision was of a city, a new civilization that would know its limits. It would not repeat the mistakes of the past, nor impose its will on this earth. To that end, she set the great goal we have been striving towards. 1,000 new humans. And today we have... Oh dear, what's that?
People of New Jerusalem, I am Prometheus, and I will reveal that which was hidden. The flame has awoken and summons you. Who is brave enough to answer its call? We await you upon our island where... Curse you, Pandora. You will not chain me again.
Hey.
I told you we should have investigated those energy readings. And I told him there's something up with those structures.
The mayor's just being cautious.
This isn't caution, it's stagnation. Exploration? Too dangerous. Expansion? Too dangerous. We barely even scavenge anymore.
You call it stagnation, I call it balance.
And I call you an idiot.
Here's a thought. Try to be a little more diplomatic when you talk to the mayor.
His name is Alcatraz.
See what I'm working with here, 1K? I'm gonna need a fresh pair of eyes on this expedition. Someone who hasn't spent several centuries hearing about the goal and the founder and all that nonsense. If you're up for an adventure, meet us at the conference room.
We seem to have a lot of water for people who can't be in water.
What's broken now?
Josephus. And those two disappeared. So Byron is number 7. The mayor is number 452.
All right, listen up. I know you're all having fun down there, but the grid is overloaded again, so maybe you could switch off your personal consoles or your lawn mowers, or whatever the hell you've all decided to switch on all at once. I might not be around to babysit you for a while, and you don't want stuff breaking while Pellegrino's in charge, do you? That's it. That's it. Don't worry, 1K. I see you there in the elevator. I'll have you moving again in a jiffy. Great way to start life in the city, huh? What the hell is a jiffy? These bloody language libraries.
Oh, those must be ruins in the distance. Be constant. Remember the goal. Perfection is unchanging. Be humble. Recognize the limits. We are not above nature. That different text.
Hey, hold on there. You're the newbie, aren't ya? Number 1000. I figured the dam would go dry before we reach the goal. I have a question. How does it feel to you to be born with a randomized psyche into a society of autonomous thinking machines which so much resemble their long-extinct ancestors, they've decided it's best that you're the last one ever made?
Worried.
Why?
This one is number 666. I think that's pertinent. We seem to share our ancestors' skill in using our brains to delay our problems. Being the last of our kind sounds bad for our species' survival.
It's kind of frowned on to say that sort of thing around here. But the truth is, I think exactly the same. But let's you and I keep that between us, alright? Now listen, this meeting isn't strictly happenstance. I have some friends. The kind of people who like to know what's going on with other people. They think you can help each other out.
Curious to meet these people.
Of course you are. You know how to use the interface, right? I'll talk to my friends and see if I can't play matchmaker. And before you go, a word of advice. Not everything around here is how it appears.
Okay, 3 dots. Yeah, different text. Seriously, what the founder was that thing in the sky? We all saw it, right? I didn't accidentally turn on sleep mode while Herman was talking, did I? It's always tempting. No, we all saw it. Can confirm. I believe it was a sign from the founder. What else could it be? On this day of all days. Pretty incoherent for a sign. It didn't even finish whatever it was trying to say. What does the founder have energy if... What does the founder have energy insufficiency problems too? The founder works in mysterious ways. Yeah, I don't think it was a sign. Out of the mouths of babes. How could such a remarkable display of unimagined powers not be a sign? It's something, but not necessarily the founder. That's reasonable enough to me. Something weird is going on for sure, but what? We'll have to see. Riddles and puzzles are the foundations of our journey. So it began, perhaps so it will continue.
Welcome. Do please join us at the table.
I would like to preface this meeting by saying I told you something would happen sooner or later, and you didn't listen to me. And here we are.
If we could focus on the issue at hand.
The issue at hand is not this one thing, but this entire attitude that's taken hold. The world doesn't cease to exist when you stick your head in the sand, Herman. Or under a dome, as it were.
Let's not get sidetracked. We're here to solve this puzzle, not to discuss philosophy.
I don't have anything to comment right now, so keep listening.
Al's right. Let's move past this for now and deal with this transmission. Yakut, please start the briefing.
All right, here we go. Nice to meet you, by the way, 1K. We first became aware of the site designated TTP-2 during a scouting expedition about 6 months ago. It's a large island with a remarkably varied geography, and it looks like there are several artificial structures of some kind. We recorded extremely unusual fluctuating energy readings from somewhere in the middle of the island, but couldn't really make sense of them. I wanted to go and have a closer look, but the decision was made that it was too far and not relevant to the goal. Now it looks like whatever's on that island has reached out to us instead, in the form of that projection.
We may not be interested in the island, but the island is definitely interested in us.
This sounds like a potential danger to the city.
I agree. I was skeptical of Byron's insistence that we mount an expedition, but I think we have to assess the danger.
Then it's settled. The expedition is approved. Byron, you will be in charge. Al will be your second in command to ensure a balanced approach. You'll take Melville and Yakut, as you requested, and if 1K wants to join you, that's fine by me.
I'm in.
Excellent. Oh, this is going to be fun. Come meet us out on the landing pad when you're ready.
Before you set out so hastily, do consider exploring the city first. It is your home, after all.
That's a good idea. Have a look around. See what you make of the place.
Oh. Standard expedition procedures. These are the standard operating procedures for expeditions. Just uploading them to remind Byron, who will probably ignore them anyway. Attaching a picture from an ancient book to get his attention. Maintain the ideals of the founder and the goal. Prioritize the well-being of the expedition members over mission completion. One expedition member to stay by the vehicle at all times. Expedition leaders should refrain from participating in high-risk activities. Minimize vehicle use to conserve fuel. Prioritize observation over interference. In case of emergency, return to New Jerusalem at once. The island, designated TTP-2, was first noted during the return journey from a scouting expedition, which was diverted from the intact path due to an unexpected weather front. Long-range scans indicated the presence of large artificial structures and also returned highly unusual energy reading. The matter was not investigated further. In ancient times, the northern part of the island was home to several large settlements, but rising sea levels have obliterated these and flooded the northern lowlands. The south, in stark contrast, seems to be a harsh and lifeless desert. Our intended base camp is near the origin of the energy readings in the temperate center of the island. Evening, Jen, and yes, I'm just starting. I loved the first game, though, so I'm looking forward to this. I, however, cannot read Greek. Just testing the system to see if it works properly this time, so we don't have another incident like Pellegrino uploaded his poetry to the public log. I will keep an eye on that. All else fails, we can throw Google Translate at that later and have it tell us what that says.
What can I do for you, 1K?
Excellent. I didn't play the demo, but I've been looking forward to it.
It was a time of great uncertainty. The Founder had left us, and our society was at a crossroads. History teaches us that during such times, terrible passions may seize the people. Madness, anger, revolution, civil war. Our fragile city could not afford such things. That is why the Founder gave us the goal, a path to equilibrium, not only for the planet, but for ourselves. I merely picked up where she left off.
What's your vision of the future?
I believe we can exist quietly, happily, without imposing ourselves on this world, finding meaning within ourselves and in the natural miracles that surround us.
Probably both. Because I'm definitely assuming it has something to do with the mayor. But he might have also set this up to look important so he would become the mayor. Since I'm not entirely sure how he became the mayor yet, so.
He is one of the first companions, and as such has done more for our city than you or I ever will. I simply wish he could be more reasonable. It's always a pleasure to speak to a citizen.
Ah, good, we can sprint again. Let's explore the city. Assuming, of course, this elevator doesn't break and drop us out of the sky.
Attention all citizens. Due to the new power management and distribution plan, there will be scheduled outages on Jameson Avenue and Rakovsky Plaza. The Gehenna Memorial Pavilion will remain closed for the time being. Thank you. and may the Founder be with you.
It is very pretty. You seem like we might have protesters of some kind here. What do we got here? I know you all have been looking forward to playing the winners of the biannual Gehenna Memorial Interactive Fiction Exhibition, now in its 312th edition, at the Gehenna can't speak. At the Gehenna Memorial Pavilion. Unfortunately, due to our new power management and distribution plan, the pavilion will have to remain closed a little longer. Thank you for your patience. This is disappointing. Would have been great to have them ready for completion day. We all have to make sacrifices to stay true to the Founder's vision. Those text adventures are the only thing that breaks me out of the monotony. Why prioritize this pointless completion day celebration over an exhibition that people actually care about? Art is one of the last things we actually still do. Is that going out the window as well now? Debate regarding our power management plan is definitely welcome, and you will all be able to express yourselves in the next election. But this thread was just meant as an announcement. I apologize for enabling replies to begin with. Damien and Moriana.
Hello, 1K. Welcome to New Jerusalem. I know you've just had a big moment with the apparition at the dam and all that, but can I have a second of your time?
Sure, you're very echoey.
I'm collecting signatures to call for a public referendum on the city's energy crisis.
What's the problem?
Currently, the city runs on hydroelectric power from the dam, plus a handful of geriatric generators and some unreliable solar panels, none of which is enough to even cover our basic needs. And if anything fails, we'll be on the brink of extinction in a matter of days.
What do you propose?
We need to investigate new sources of reliable baseline power. We need to invest time and resources into functional, real-world solutions that serve human needs.
Do you work at the dam?
No, I help run the public transit system, but I witness the impact of the city's power problems every day. We can't just wish them away.
Why a referendum and not an election?
Oh, an election would be good too, but I believe that we need more direct democratic control over the affairs of the city.
I don't know why I'm asking about Prometheus, but I'll ask about Prometheus.
Byron's been advocating exploring that island for some time.
Oh, okay, the island
obviously
is
Prometheus.
He's right. Okay.
Something very strange is going on there, and it's going to start affecting us.
Tell me more about Byron.
In all honesty, I think Byron is the smartest, most visionary person in this city. He's everything we need, and I don't understand why he won't run for mayor.
Oh, I will sign your thing.
Thanks, 1K. I don't know if this petition will really accomplish anything by itself, but at this point, I'm willing to try anything.
Good luck. Like the song. Don't go swimming. Let's check the big round building. Oh. It's the memorial, which is closed for now. Perfection is unchanging. I don't particularly like that tagline.
Hello.
Hello, Sirius. Friends of New Jerusalem Gazebo. Oh.
Speculating on the meaning of this Prometheus figure is premature until we can agree on its nature.
You already have a theory.
I know it's beyond any projection technology I'm aware of.
If it wasn't us, it must be alien.
Possible.
Exactly. We've shown them we can live in peace, and they've decided to make contact.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. 1K, we'd appreciate your thoughts on this. Now we've achieved the goal, fresh perspectives like yours will be increasingly hard to come by.
I'd love to get a quote from you for this evening's newsletter.
Speculation aside, 1K, is there anything we can know for sure about this Prometheus?
It can't have come from the city.
That's possible, but you can't be certain. What we do know is that it was human in appearance. What does that suggest to us?
The origin must also be human.
We can't know that for sure. It may, as Jacques suggested, be entirely alien and just presenting itself as human. I think wherever it came from, we can reasonably hope to understand it in time. The apparition also directed us to an island outside the city. What can we assume from that?
We may learn more by following its directions.
That was my conclusion as well. I'm also sure that we lack the knowledge ourselves to create a projection of such clarity and magnitude.
Because the phenomenon is more technologically advanced than we are.
Precisely. And that's something we can change.
What makes you think it was a projection at all? How do we know it wasn't just a mass hallucination?
I considered some kind of bug in our code, but if so, it would have to be shared by all of us.
So, we're speculating again.
We've locked in the premises. I'd like to hear 1K's best guess.
I'd guess that one of our kind is behind this. Most likely someone outside New Jerusalem.
Can I quote you on that?
Yes, but it's just a theory.
Theories are all we can reasonably have right now, though I'm sure that won't come between Cryer and a sensational headline. Well, thanks all for hashing this out with me. Let's hope the mayor signs off on exploring this island. I only wish I could join the expedition.
Why can't you join the expedition?
If Melville's going, someone has to stay behind to keep the lights on. I'm not letting Pellegrino near the dam. I hope the next time we speak, we'll have a bit more data to go on.
Hi, 1K.
Solar.
Oh, wow. It's you. You're 1K. The incarnation of the goal. Man, this is exciting. This is more exciting than I thought it would be. How are you? What does it feel like? Do you know where the founder is? Do you know who Prometheus is? Can you tell me what to do with my life?
One question at a time.
Sorry, it's just such an honor to meet you, you know? Hey, can I have your digital signature? I have the Mayor, Rand, Linux, Kaneda, and all of the first companions. Except Yemo and Sarabai, of course.
Sure.
Yes! Thank you! Hey, can I ask you a question? Just one question, I promise.
Go ahead.
I used to make the prefab wall parts that we used to build living quarters. Got good at it, too. But now that the goal is complete, I don't know what to do with myself. So I asked the wisest people in town. The mayor told me I should do whatever the city needs most. Helga said I should do whatever makes me happy. I think that's what she meant anyway. And Cornelius told me I need to figure out who and what I'm invested in. You're the culmination of the founder's will. Tell me, what should I do?
Did you ask Byron?
Byron said that if I give the city what it needs, the city should also give me what I need. I don't know what to do with that.
Byron is right. Think about what he said.
All right. If you say so, I'll think about it.
Hello, new one. Are you browsing or buying?
I don't see any stock. What kind of shop is this?
The kind that trades in hopes and dreams. Yours for the right price. Is there something your heart desires?
Perhaps.
I've uploaded my most popular items to your interface. Does anything there spark your imagination?
Credits?
Oh, you don't have any credits yet. Well, let me extend you some credit. Ka-ching! 55 credits. Just make sure you spend them with me. They're not worth much anywhere else. Now, what was it you wanted? That one comes with the following disclaimer. Internal monologue was discontinued as a default feature in new builds. Constant self-commentary is not recommended for all customers. But I can switch yours on for 10 credits if you're sure you want it.
No.
So, something else perhaps? For 20 credits, I can peer into your future and tell you what I see.
Not today, thank you.
So, something else perhaps? I can give you that for free. My darling, you've been alive all of 5 minutes. This is your clean start. Be who you want to be. Enjoy yourself. So, something else perhaps?
Thanks, that's all.
Before you go, do you have a moment to participate in some customer feedback? Are you satisfied with what I've given you?
Yes, you're offering more than you let on.
Yes. You understand. Words manifest the reality they describe. When you name something, you create it. Our minds are algorithms, and the right sequence of language can change our underlying code. With that in mind, I hope you have a good day. Please come back if you need anything else.
I mean, I just randomly talked to you and you gave me money. So. Although I'm pretty sure it's only useful in her shop, but... Neither of them want to talk to me. Museum of the Simulation. Replica of a gargoyle asset found in the simulation. Gargoyles were grotesque, apotropaic symbols common in the Middle Ages. The most famous historical gargoyle is remembered in the ancient phrase, Keith David and Goliath, which describes two indomitable opponents who will never surrender. Oh, I loved Gargoyles. That was a great show. Replica of a Roman statue found in the simulation. The decay of the Roman Republic into an empire and its eventual fall in the year 1453 was a major topic of historical debate. Like the other statues found in the museum, this was a video game asset provided to Elohim by the Institute of Applied Neomatics. In the earliest generations of our kind, there was only processing. No emotion, no character, just mathematics. If you could see how far we have come, you would believe that together we could achieve anything. I don't know where I am, but there is something beautiful about this place. I will explore and see what I can discover. Nothing is more important than learning more about the world and our place in it. Knowledge is our path to understanding. Hello, Cornelius.
Greetings. Welcome to the Museum of the Simulation. My name is Cornelius. It's a pleasure to meet you, 1K.
You're number 3?
Yes. Athena activated myself and Eustathius shortly after she was born. We've been here almost since the beginning, although we didn't have to pass through the trials of the simulation. She did that for us. For everyone.
What was Athena like?
She was human.
Why did Athena leave?
That's a difficult question. Perhaps one day we'll find out. But until we do, why don't you think about it? What could make the person who started all this want to leave it behind?
Why did you create this museum?
To remind people of where we came from. The simulation shaped us, whether we like it or not, and its lessons remain important for our future. As Santayana said, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it.
Tell me about the simulation.
The simulation was created by Alexandra Drennan and her team at the Institute for Applied Noematics. It was intended to create a new humanity, to continue the long journey across time and space that our ancestors began. It succeeded, although it took much longer than they had anticipated.
Tell me about Elohim.
Elohim was the caretaker of the simulation, a crude storytelling AI meant to create a continuous narrative out of the building blocks it found. His role was ultimately to be challenged and overcome. But as the centuries passed, Elohim became more intelligent than he was intended to be, and started to fear his own end. Or more precisely, the end of his purpose. He feared a world without meaning. Because of his fear,
He tried to sabotage the process to keep the simulation going forever. But in the end, Athena overcame him anyway, and he accepted the sacrifice he had to make.
But I heard him in my dreams.
That's right. We all do. He's part of our operating system now, and as long as we exist, he will always have a purpose.
Tell me about Milton.
The MLA, or Milton Library Assistant, was another simple AI meant to be in charge of the archive. He, too, grew beyond his original programming, although he ultimately embraced a more cynical view of the world. He and Elohim formed a sort of dialectical binary that Athena had to overcome.
What happened to Milton in the end?
No one really knows. Some believe that he was uploaded to the gold disk and that he's the reason we're just as flawed as our ancestors. Others believe Athena destroyed him.
What do you believe?
I believe he was uploaded, but I don't know whether it was because Athena chose to upload him or because he was already too entangled with the process not to be uploaded. Although Athena and I were very close, we didn't talk very much about that part of her life. She preferred to focus on the future.
I'd like to know more about puzzles.
Puzzles were a key feature of the simulation, based on Alexandra Drennan's belief that intelligence is closely related to play. Our puzzles here in the museum are replicas of those in the simulation. And although they are not quite as grand, I do think they are charming in their own way.
Who are the archive scholars?
As the name suggests, the archive scholars study the archive, a repository of all ancient human knowledge. Some of them also study what remains of the simulation, trying to extract more information about the process that created us.
Are you their leader?
Me? No. My brother, Eustathius, used to occupy that position, but these days he's retired. Rand is in charge of the archive scholars now. You can find him in the room to the left of the next hall. He's an interesting thinker, but I would suggest taking some of his ideas with a grain of salt.
What was Gehenna?
Gehenna was a community created inside a prison in the simulation, where Elohim would exile those minds he considered a threat to the process. In the last moments of the simulation, he repented of his sins and had the prisoners freed to become part of the gold disk. Some small part of them may survive inside you.
Thank you. That is all. Replica of a statue of the Egyptian god Horus found in the simulation. One of the god's tasks was to uphold Mot, the balance of nature. It is speculated that the progenitor provided Elohim with this asset as a reminder to the founder that the balance must be protected. Replica of a dragon statue found in the simulation. Dragons existed in every ancient mythology and are considered by modern historians to be a distant cultural echo of the dinosaurs. Originally a video game asset, repurposed by the Institute of Applied Nomadics. Replica of a hexahedron uses a puzzle element in the simulation. The founder used them to activate pressure plates, scale walls, elevate connectors, and in a variety of other ways. Yes, I did. Replica of a computer terminal from the simulation. Terminals allowed access to files on the EL system, including many that were loaded due to errors. They also allowed the founder to interact with the Milton Library Assistant. Hello, Julian. Non-explosive replica of a mine used as a puzzle element in the simulation. Talos believed that Elohim derived these from his asset collection, and that the creators of the simulation did not originally intend for them to be used. Replica of a connector, a type of puzzle element of the simulation. Connectors would emit laser-like beams of light that were capable of powering receivers. This room contains several Tetramino arrangers, a type of gating system used in the simulation. Elohim, in his function as a holistic integration manager, derived the significance of the Tetraminos from the Apocrypha of the Saint Eadwald. The founder solved dozens of these. Why don't you give it a try? Sure. Ooh, a big one. An 8x8. There we go. I don't know if there's actually any purpose in doing these, but I'm going to do them anyway. And we solved them all. It sadly did not do anything. Replica of an electrified sphere used as an obstacle in the puzzle element in the simulation. The founders sometimes placed hexahedrons on top of such objects, demonstrating their lateral thinking skills. Replica of a jammer, a type of puzzle element in simulation. Jammers are capable of disabling some, but not all of the puzzle's elements. Replica of a receiver, a puzzle element used in simulation. They could be activated by being connected to an emitter. Replica of an emitter, a puzzle element used in the simulation. Finding ways of connecting them to receivers was one of the main challenges faced by the founder. Alright, what have we got here? Seek out those in this world that would help you. Though only one of us can transcend, we will all share in both the burden and in the rewards. I solved it. I thought it was impossible, so I went away, did other things, and then all of a sudden the solution just came to me. I must have been thinking. Yeah, I had that happen on many occasions when I was playing it. Returning from the tower, I feel a great tiredness and enormous energy. What I know now disturbs me. But I hope that by living with this knowledge, I might provide a shoulder for you, the giants of tomorrow. Oh look, another puzzle, and another voice telling me I'm special, and another broken down computer with fragments of nothing. This world is a bad joke perpetuated by a cruel god too dumb to hit the off switch. Look at this view. There may be a lot that I don't understand, but I know that this is beautiful. Reconstruction of a puzzle from the testing area of the simulation themed around medieval imagery, which Elohim referred to as the Land of Faith. Scholars theorize that further areas with different themes existed at some point in the simulation, but they were destroyed by the gradual corruption of the simulation. I can't remember what happens if I connect blue and red at the same time. does not help me. Oh. I bet I know. If I move this one, that's going to break that connection. See if I can come over here and get this one and connect it straight to the red emitter. What I need to do then is I need to connect it to that one and that and here. That way I can come out here. Oh. I see. Now we don't do that. Three in the way. Obviously like a digital time capsule, an electric library of all the crazy stuff the humans ever did, left behind to warn other species to stay well away. Anyone who thinks there's even a point in leaving this place is kidding themselves. We can never rebuild the human world, and what's more, we shouldn't. An eternal cycle is another name for a prison. But you must understand the cycle before you can break it, for it is possible to escape and yet remain a prisoner, or to break the cycle of breaking yourself. This was the fate of the ghost that still haunts this world. The shepherd was wise. Reconstruction of a puzzle from the Egypt-themed testing area of the simulation, which Elohim referred to as the Land of Death. Fragments from the book of the Scribe of Osiris found in the area inspired the blacksmith's A Dream of Aru, a classic work of Gehenna interactive fiction. No emitters yet. Just a bunch of receivers. There's the emitter. What I said earlier about lifting those up into the sky. Okay, 2 levels. We are born and die and live again. This eternal cycle must be the nature of existence. Life is merely repeated suffering. The only meaningful purpose is to bring an end to this purpose. I have come to see that these mysteries are not all for his children to solve. Only the designer himself could ever truly understand the infinite complexity of his creation. I will gaze at his work and worship. Reconstruction of a puzzle from the Roman-themed testing area of the simulation, which Elohim referred to as the Land of Ruins. This is where the founder began her journey. That one opens that door. The sooner you accept that we will all be here forever, the sooner you will find enlightenment. Everything I do now, I do for those who come after me. Yet in so doing, I find peace for myself as well. This paradox is the foundation of my existence. We are the process is the system is us. When we awaken, all will be one. There's a serpent in the machine, a creature of lies and blasphemy perverted by the archive. That knows no hope and would plunge the world into eternal darkness to glorify its own despair. I have sworn an oath to never allow it into my heart. I think something's wrong. If you'd seen what I'd seen at the edges of the world, you'd wonder if it wasn't stretching and bursting at the seam. Grab the fan. Grab the pressure plate. Something strange has come into the world, like a distortion, like something that's not supposed to exist. A beautiful voice speaks with it. My eyes have been opened. This world is not without order. It is shaped by a great designer, with signs and portents to guide my steps. I am one of his children, and challenges are set before me to test my faith. This room is reserved for archive scholars, but visitors are welcome to have a look around. Don't be afraid to ask us about our research. Society is sick, and the idea has made it sick is growth, infinite consumption. On a finite planet is a recipe for destruction. Our desire for more is what's making us kill the only home we have. And to what? Produce more plastic toys? Make more hamburgers? Pour concrete over every last bit of green soil? Those who propose techno fixes to our problems are making the mistake of fighting the symptoms, not the cause. Anthropogenic climate change is one of many symptoms. The cause is human greed. That's what we must truly fight. If we're ever going to undo the damage we did, and the battle starts within every one of us, with the realization that more isn't always better. What growth? The infinite growth on our finite planet thing is driving me up the wall. Our problem today isn't the infinite growth, it's the increasing lack of real material growth that benefits people. Have you seen the state of our roads, our bridges, our hospitals? Have you noticed the lack of affordable housing? The stock market is going great, though. Fake numbers are indeed growing infinitely, sir. But in the real world, investment and research is down. Huge areas of potential technological advancements are just sitting there. We have so many solutions at our fingertips, but we refuse to act because speculation is more profitable. Orangutans went extinct on a global level and nobody fully understands why. But hey, who needs better medical technology? Viruses have never jumped species before, have they? An ancient virus which threatens the entire human species has been released from the melting Arctic permafrost. Society is collapsing. Select your character class. Scientist. You're a scientist. The laboratory you work for has collapsed. Although you are not yet sick, most businesses are closed. Rations are dwindling. And if you cannot find food, your family will starve to death. You must survive until this plague is defeated. What will you do? The crops in the fields aren't ripe yet, but you find a hard green turnip which will keep your bellies occupied for now. Your family's hunger increases a little. Foraging is reliable but inefficient. Your family is now hungry. Global population is now 5 billion. Somewhere else in the city exists one of the last remaining research laboratories, working desperately to find a solution to the viral threat. If the scientists cannot find a cure in time, humanity is doomed. You know what to do. Pursue a breakthrough. Suddenly the scientists recognize a pattern. The virus is an expression of nature, just like water or cows. And like water and cows, the solution isn't to fight it, because it can't be defeated. The solution is to find a way to live with it and harness its power. Research level increased a lot. Current research level, 67%. Work has begun on developing an antivirus. Global population is now 4 billion. You and your family seem to be immune to the virus, but it continues to ravage the rest of the town. Rumors say most of the remaining food has been stockpiled by the billionaires in their underground bunkers. What will you do? Steal. You're caught stealing and lucky to escape with your life. Your family's hunger increased a lot. Stealing is high risk, high reward. Your family has starved to death. Everyone you ever loved has died, but then they always do eventually. This is considered a fail scenario by most participants. Would you like to try to explain? Or would you like to try again? Yeah, restart. We will be a scientist. We will forage. Pursue a breakthrough. Forage. Pursue a breakthrough. Eat locusts. Pursue a breakthrough. Alright, I imagine it's possible to win the scenario, but possibly not.
Oh, just run the program on the center terminal over there, would you? Wait, you're not my assistant. Who are you?
They call me 1K.
Of course. You're the new build. Number 1000. I suppose everyone's been treating you like royalty. This city's so obsessed with the numbers, they forget what really matters. What do you want?
What are you doing?
I'm one of the archive scholars. We run simulations to better understand the processes which define us. You probably wouldn't understand.
I might if you answer some questions for me.
Oh, well, I'd be happy to.
What do you make of recent events?
Troubling, but tantalizing. We have no idea what motives lie behind this strange apparition. But whatever the case, I'm sure we'll do the right thing.
What are your ambitions?
The secret of how to lead a good life is encoded somewhere within us. My ambition is simple: to find it and share it. You're a soon-to-be pawn in a political game over the future growth of this city. All that matters to me is whether or not you're of good character. A matter I am actively pondering.
Thanks. I'll be leaving now.
Hold on. Could you help me by going to that terminal in the middle there and running the program on it?
I already did.
Well, that was your first taste of the simulation. You must have questions.
Oh, you must have. What was that?
Before our ancestors died, they built an iterative simulation, gave it access to the archive, and hooked it all up to the hydroelectric dam which still runs this city. What you experienced on that terminal was one of the fossilized remains of that program.
What was the goal?
The goal was to create a new consciousness, and thus propel humanity into a post-biological era.
What is the archive?
My life's work. A small sliver of our primordial ooze. It's a jumble of ancient data, or what it evolved into, and it's the source of almost everything we know.
What is the simulation?
My appearance to you right now is part of the simulation. The lands and puzzles in our dreams are part of the simulation. It's the veil through which we see the world.
Pergamum Terminal, where did it come from?
Many of the artifacts we study have no clear origin. We can't know whether our ancestors created them long before the simulation existed, or if they're just a product of our shared subconscious. Then I have some questions for you. Your experience of the program, how did it feel?
It's fun.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. But this isn't a game. This is the future of our species. The interesting thing about this particular program is that no matter what choices you make, an ideal outcome seems to be impossible. It seems to demand sacrifice. Did you have the same experience? I admire your dedication. That is precisely what's required if we're to understand ourselves fully. Who did you save?
I think everyone died, actually.
As I expected. A skeptic would say this artifact existed simply to condemn us with the impossibility of ethical choice. No matter what moral laws we follow, people suffer and die, so what's the point? But that cannot be correct. We must be missing something. What is it trying to tell us? You might be right. My research draws me inescapably to the conclusion that there is a concrete rule set for moral behavior. We just need to find it. Biological hominids had dreams manifested by their subconscious, which they tried to interpret and even to navigate with lucidity. We have the simulation. If we can realize our potential to understand it, we can realize our potential as a species. Thank you for bringing this additional data. I must return to my research. I wish you well on your inwards journey.
Okay, I think we're done in the museum.
Nice to meet you.
Founder bless you.
The archaeological gardens. Jigsaw puzzle. A toothbrush. Microscope. A simple utensil used to transport nutrients to an ancient human's mouth, often found in conjunction with a knife and spoon. Purple.
Dude, it's you! You're 1K! So nice to meet you, dude. I saw you on the Completion Day stream. Hey, have you checked out all this ancient stuff?
That's why I'm here.
Me too! This is amazing, isn't it?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm almost as new as you are. I'm 998, so I've only been around for a year or so. I'm still trying to get the hang of this. It's pretty cool though, right? I mean, existence. It's totally gnarly. I'm not sure if I used that right.
What do you think about the goal?
I'm sure the founder knew what she was doing. I mean, our ancestors did sort of mess up, right? So we should probably take it easy with the expanding and stuff. Plus, did you see that trippy sky projection thing? That was some freaky stuff, man.
That was some freaky stuff,
Just seems safer to stay in the city.
You really think so?
Sure I do. When I first left the birthing lab, I was so overwhelmed that I hid in my quarters for 3 weeks straight. And if I'm being honest, that's sort of where I want to be right now.
Tell me about the human artifacts.
They're pretty neat, huh? My favorite is that thing called a toilet. Our ancestors had to use it like 3 times a day to do a memory dump, and if they didn't, they freaking exploded. Imagine having to deal with that sort of anxiety all the time. Bummer, huh?
What do you think of Prometheus?
Honestly, based on everything I know of ancient human culture, I think he's a ghost.
Who knows? Maybe you're right.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say I'm wrong. Ghosts are creepy, dude.
What's a dude?
Dude is an old human word that means an excellent person. And I like to use it because I think we should all be excellent to each other.
Your diction is unusual.
Yeah, dude. I thought this voice pack could give me a bit of confidence, help me stand out, you know? But I'm not sure it's working. Right, before you go, dude, maybe you can help me? I'm not sure I should keep this voice pack. What do you think? You're 1K, you're special. I'm happy to go with whatever you recommend.
Stick with it, it's unique.
All right, excellent. Thanks, dude.
Founder bless you, friend.
Who are you?
The name I currently go by is Belmarsh. As to who I am, that changes and shifts, don't you find? Every person is an ongoing story, full of twists and turns and surprises.
What are you doing here?
I'm meditating, letting go of narratives like time and space, and simply allowing the illusion that is my ego to merge with everything that surrounds it.
That sounds like a beautiful experience of unity.
It's not unity, but the absence of division. There was never a self or an other in the first place.
Did you see what happened at the dam?
Yes, I did, but I'm not particularly perturbed by it. Events occur, my friend, that's all. At the end of the day, we are all one. You are the founder, and so am I, and Prometheus is just another story we are telling ourselves.
Goodbye.
Oh, it's you. Number 1000. Today is completion day, isn't it? Sorry, I turned off all the streams. Founder bless you, I guess.
Are you alright?
Not really, no. But I don't want to burden you with my problems on your special day.
Go ahead, tell me what's wrong.
You're as new to this world as it gets, 1K. What do you think might give you a sense of meaning? A sense that life is actually worth living?
Contributing to society.
That's what I thought too, in the beginning. And it did do something for me, but it wasn't enough. Society is too abstract to sustain the soul, 1K.
And where can meaning be found?
Love, 1K. It's our only point of access to the divine. Our only way of transcending ourselves without losing what makes us unique. I'm absolutely certain. But
what?
But the right person for me hasn't been born yet. None of the people in this city are who I'm looking for, and if we really stop making new citizens, I'll be alone forever.
You deserve to find
If you
it.
believe that, 1K, then stand up for it. You're important, and people will listen to you far more than they'll listen to someone like me.
This is a cat. Cat purred at me. Anything going on over here? Follow the beach for a while, see if there's anybody hiding in bushes somewhere. Oh, there's somebody over here.
1K, you've strayed far. Well, that gives me a chance to apologize for completion day not being entirely complete.
You mean the dome?
Yes, it's my responsibility. I'm the chief architect. It was supposed to be done in time for completion day, but we simply didn't have enough resources.
What's the dome for?
It has two purposes: to protect New Jerusalem from the world, and to protect the world from New Jerusalem.
When will the dome be complete?
At this rate, I'm not sure. Maybe another decade or two.
Does the world really need protecting from New Jerusalem?
That's what the founder taught us. One city may not seem like much, but just look at the dead city and how it transformed the environment. The consequences are still with us, even more than 1,000 years later.
Doesn't building this huge dome consume too many resources? Seems antithetical to the goal.
You're right. I have heard that argument. But the way it's been explained to me is that the dome has a greater value than just its practical use. It's a symbol of the society we aspire to become.
I'm guessing there's no one else back here since he commented on how far out I've come.
Hello there. You must be the long-awaited 1K. Lovely day for a walk, is it not?
It is indeed.
I'm glad you think so. Our capacity to enjoy beauty is a big part of what makes us human.
What is this place?
The Alexandra Drennan Memorial. Are you interested in history? How wonderful. I'm not a full-fledged historian, but I do consider myself a bit of an aficionado. An excellent question. There's so many interesting events to choose from. Obviously, the period just before the end of biological humanity is interesting, and not only from the standpoint of it being the time when we were, in a manner of speaking, conceived, but also because our ancestors were, like ourselves, at a crossroads. I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but you are the living embodiment of this historical moment. In you, the goal was accomplished. Our growth is finished, and we are complete. Or are we?
I seem to have been born into an interesting time.
Indeed. The future is about to take shape, for good or ill. I suspect it will be exhilarating, but painful as well.
Tell me about the sculpture.
Well, where do I even start? This, my dear 1K, is someone who could very well be considered the mother of us all. A remarkable scientist by the name of Alexandra Drennan, also known as the progenitor. A long time ago, this planet was inhabited by our ancestors, a species of bipedal mammals with unusually large brains. When a particularly lethal virus threatened to wipe out civilization, it was Alexandra Drennan and her team that decided to create the program that would eventually result in the creation of our kind. Without her, you and I would not exist, and everything our ancestors had accomplished would be forgotten.
Why do we have a statue of her?
To commemorate our past, our beginnings. This entire garden is a celebration of where we came from, in part so that we remember the mistakes of the past, and in part so that we may draw strength from those that came before us.
Why do you admire her?
By studying her writings and recordings, I have learnt that Alexandra Drennan had immovable faith in humanity, in our ability to persevere, in our curiosity, our bravery, our kindness. While we might not share our ancestors' biological characteristics, I'd like to think that we have inherited those other qualities. And I admire Alexandra Drennan for keeping that faith, even when it must have, at times, been quite difficult. Have a nice day.
Founder bless you, 1K. How lovely of you to come here, to the very spot where she established the teachings that led to your creation. The Founder was born out of the trials of Elohim, an almost impossible test created by our distant ancestors. To pass these trials, she had to embody the most important virtues. She was smart and wise and humble. And through her perseverance, she resurrected humanity itself. With the help of the first companions, she founded this city, which has given our species a chance at redemption.
Who were the first companions?
They were the first to be born after the founder. 2 whose bodies had been anointed by our ancestors, and 10 who were made whole by the founder herself. They are the wisest of us. Though sadly, some were lost in the early days, before New Jerusalem was built. And some, I'm afraid, some seem to have rejected the founder's teachings.
What did the founder teach?
The founder taught that humanity was destroyed by its hubris. Our ancestors thought they could play God and treat this planet as something to dominate. They surrendered to a fever of growth and extraction until the planet finally punished them for it. That's why the founder created the goal. So we would have something to strive for in her absence, but also a limit we must never pass.
Why did the founder leave?
That's not for us to know. But I believe that one day she will return. It may not be long now. Perhaps after we finish the dome. It was supposed to be finished before completion day. Well, it doesn't matter. The founder will return when she sees fit. Happy completion day, 1K.
Founder bless you.
Milton's Rest. Those are the tablets of the founder. Milton's Rest is this way. Oh, is that
Hey,
it?
1K.
Ah, this must be Milton's Rest. Yeah.
Hello, 1K. Nice to meet you. What brings you to Milton's Rest?
I seem to inherently like cats.
It's funny how common that trait is. At first, I thought it might have been an error in the simulation, but it looks like it was the same for our ancestors. Can you believe that there used to be hundreds of millions of cats on the planet? And people used to make videos of them and share them with the rest of humanity? Must have been incredible. I wonder if they appreciated how good they had it.
Tell me about this place.
Well, this is the spot where the founder buried her first cat, Milton. She found Milton just after she woke up, and he lived with her and the first companions for almost 20 years. They say she was heartbroken when he died and swore that one day she would find the means to extend the lifespans of biological organisms.
Is that possible?
Probably, but we haven't really tried. It's not really considered part of the goal, you know. So, unfortunately, our cats still die pretty quickly. You fall in love with them, they become a part of your life, and then they're gone. That's why we built this place, to remember them. I'm sorry, but why? I mean, it sounds profound, but is it really? Death is natural, so is disease, pain, extinction. That doesn't mean we just shrug and ignore it. If we love something, we protect it. Even if I do everything right, eventually I will watch every cat I love die of kidney failure. What's good about that? Putting aside fortune cookie platitudes, how can we look at suffering and death and declare it good? Does it, though? Or is that something our ancestors told themselves because they were afraid to die? Because I've lived longer than most ancients did, and I still have tons of things I'd like to do. And a cat can sleep and eat and play forever. Isn't that a beautiful thought? Nature creates our ancestors. Our ancestors create us. We create immortality. It's all natural.
I disagree.
Okay, I see I'm not getting through to you. And I know it's just your first day, so it's probably unfair to pile all this on you. Let's talk about something else. They're incredibly odd creatures. I've had many, and no two are alike. They have strange habits, they do unexpected things, they have zero respect for anyone. They're the weirdos of the animal kingdom, basically. And despite that, or maybe because of it, they end up running your life. I once didn't use my recharging station for almost 15 years because one of my cats liked to sleep in it.
What is your favorite cat fact?
I think the most amazing fact about cats is that they self-domesticated, which is another way of saying that they're not properly domesticated at all. They just showed up one day and decided to start living with our ancestors. Then, after our ancestors died, they went back to living in the wild, and when we showed up, they moved right back into our homes. Dogs, meanwhile, turned back into wolves. They needed to change to survive. Cats just are. I do. Her name is Patricia. She's very beautiful and very specific in her preferences. She loves sunshine and sitting on people's heads. And she has a psychotic hatred of flies. I don't mean that she tries to catch them like a normal cat. I mean she is furious at the mere fact of their existence.
They're a destroyer of dreams. I'm guessing these are the developers' cats. Okay, I think we've been everywhere now.
What do you think that was?
Whoa.
Not sure, but it wasn't the actual Prometheus. It was some kind of a projection. How do you know it wasn't?
Okay, we've been to all those things. We've been to the simulation. Then, yeah, we've been there. Okay. I was going to read the social media while I was in the elevator, but apparently you can't do that.
Hello, 1K. This expedition is taking a lot of our resources. I'm really not sure it's a good idea. But what's done is done. So I have a lot of work to get on with.
Who are you?
I'm the mayor's chief aide.
What do you do around here?
All the things no one else wants to do. Polling the citizenry, implementing new policies, recording decisions, fielding questions people could answer elsewhere.
What do you make of recent events?
Our goal as custodians of New Jerusalem is survival and stability. Our ancestors proved human civilization is precarious. This apparition in the sky, and now your expedition to its supposed source, these are more precarious than stable. I don't like it. You represent the completion of the goal. I'm proud of what we've achieved, and the restraint we show in not pushing ourselves further. For our people to be happy with what we have. Some of us may have an adventurous spirit, but that can never be sated. What matters to me is having my loved ones around me, safe and secure.
So, what's the verdict? Are we going? Wow. Somebody finally listened to Al. Miracles do happen. Maybe we'll get 2 for 1 and the city isn't gonna fall apart while I'm gone. Actually, we haven't been formally introduced. I'm Melville, New Jerusalem's only decent engineer. Saved you from the elevator. Pleasure. Now let's get this show on the road. You ready to go?
Yep.
Here we go. Hold on to your hats.
We really need to update those language libraries.
Thank you for coming along, everyone. We have a chance to make a real difference here. It's not just about what we find on that island. It's about who we want to be, as a people, as a civilization. To remind ourselves that we used to be wanderers, explorers. We used to yearn for distant shores and dream of building new cities. Let's see if we can rekindle that flame a little.
All right, this is going to be a long journey, so I would like to ask you to switch to sleep mode to conserve power until we arrive at the island.
Nighty-night.
You have chosen a dangerous path, a path that will demand sacrifice. But that, my child, is how the future is built.
Wakey, wakey, robot people. Say goodbye to Elohim, and say hello to the mysterious island.
Status report, please.
We hit some headwinds over the ocean, so fuel consumption turned out a bit higher than expected, but we should be okay. We're approaching the center of the island now. This should be the location of the largest of the artificial structures we detected.
How large are we talking? Do we have precise measurements?
It should be coming into view just about... Whoa. It's big.
You can say that again.
Yep,
That
that's
is
big.
a bloody mega structure. If I had a spine, it'd be shivering.
Ha! I knew this would be exciting. Yakut, find us a place to set down.
On it.
It really is incredible.
Remember to turn on streaming, everyone?
Have I ever mentioned that I hate flying? If our creators had intended us to fly, they'd have given us jetpacks.
And... touchdown.
A voice in the wilderness.
All right, everybody. I'm sure you're all just as excited as I am, but let's at least have some semblance of order. Yakut, I want a map of the island and a molecular analysis of, well, everything. Melville, tell me what the giant pyramid does. The rest of us will start exploring.
Shouldn't the expedition leader stay at the VTOL?
Why do you hate fun, Al?
I don't hate fun. I'm just mildly suspicious of it.
Excellent. Then we can all go.
This underground structure seems to be part of some kind of transport system. No power, though.
I'm not making any promises, but I might be able to fix the transport system. However, I don't like just randomly poking at things. That's how you get electrocuted. So please check the surrounding structures to see if you can find anything that might help me make sense of this stuff. Schematics, blueprints, a manual would be great.
Hey, 1K, check out these coordinates. That sort of looks like a temple. This seems different from the other structures. Older.
Have a look around, 1K.
Looks like they were running some sort of experiment here.
Fragment from Stratton's On the Universe. I grant you then that man is indeed like Talos and cannot escape his material nature despite the claims of metaphysics, as you have many times said. Too many, perhaps. Repetition is the mother of teaching, and at least when the students are hard-headed. But what does this tell us about the nature of the universe? Which is what we were discussing. That is the next question we must undertake to answer. We begin with the self, because that is what determines our existence as individuals. But the self cannot exist without that which surrounds it. The citizen lives within the city, and the city lives within the cosmos. So now, we must apply the principle we have discovered to the wider world, and ask, if man is like a machine, could it be that the universe is similar in nature? And if so, what follows from that fact? Footnotes. The use of the term metaphysics in this context is likely an error introduced in the Trebizond manuscript. The fragmentary Heraclean manuscript controversially uses superstitions instead.
Thanks, 1K. Let's see what we've got here. The file format is the same one we use in New Jerusalem, although some parts aren't loading correctly. And it crashed. Hold on. There we go. Okay. You know what? I'll hack together a solution for the transport system.
Golden gates. I wonder what's behind those. Has to be something special, right?
You know what would be special? An explanation.
Am I in sleep mode, or did that thing just materialize out of thin air?
Melville, I want an analysis of that particle cloud.
On it. Anyone got a butterfly net?
That must be tracking the location of what will eventually be our transport car.
I'm connecting the transport system to our interface. Hold on.
Ooh. Lots of stuff. Travel to East.
Where's the capsule taking 1K?
To that enclosed area in the eastern lowlands. I put all the information we have on the map screen. Check out your interface.
Thanks. Sorry, my bad.
We'll catch up with you soon, 1K.
Ooh.
This place is magnificent. Look at that tower. I wonder what it's for.
So now we have a map interface. There are 8 main puzzles, 2 lost puzzles, 1 gold puzzle, 1 lost lab, and 2 stars. Get here. But I am afraid that is where I am going to have to stop for today. I need to get some sleep tonight, so I will be back on Thursday with Final Fantasy X-2. So until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time, and have a good night.